My name's Chef Cory and I'm the culinary director at Eat Purely. Eat Purely is a company that provides meals delivered to people's homes, kind of heat and eat, really delicious food. And I started dealing with Cara, working with Cara back in 2012, 2013 when I joined the associate board. I was brought on and kind of an integral part in starting the Summer Social, the inaugural event, and I'm really excited to be back part of it because I'm super proud of what it's grown into. Back in 2012 on the associate board, when we started planning the first Summer Social, we realized that we needed to add a food aspect, and that's when I brought in my expertise. We all know that food has the power to unite people and bring people around a table and start a good conversation. So I called up some friends, we put together some pretty fun bites, and the rest is history. So to see what it's grown from in just a little under 10 years is really impressive. To think that we were in the art hall of the Blackstone Hotel with less than 200 people to where it is now. Last year's virtual event, which brought in over 1,000 views, it's really incredible. So to think that the board that I was on, I don't think we ever thought that this would become the signature event, but it's really amazing what it's become. Cara Collective is such an important part of the Chicago community. I'm just really thankful that I can provide a small bit of help to help raise the necessary funds to keep this amazing organization going. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in and thanks for joining us tonight. I just want to send my heartfelt thanks to everybody who has joined the board, donated, participated, or just helped spread the word about this amazing organization. So I'm here tonight to represent City Sun's BBQ. It's a barbecue that's available for delivery throughout Chicagoland 5 days a week. It's a dish that we're gonna make one of my favorite things tonight, which is gonna be Frito Pie. I really love this dish because it has texture, it's got creaminess, it's got saltiness, and whenever I eat, I look for that textural contrast, and it's kind of fun to eat too. It's perfect to pair with a drink. If you got a beer in your hand while you're eating this, you're gonna be in heaven. Frito Pie is going to incorporate, obviously, Fritos, but we do this really amazing 18-hour smoked brisket. That's going to go over baked beans that just sit under the brisket and get all those drippings, so it gets like a nice beefy flavor and smokiness to it. So you're going to get a little crunch, you're going to get a little smoke, you're going to get that creaminess of the beans, then we just finish it with a little bit of cotija. It's a dynamite bite. During the process of getting this menu item put together, it was kind of a collaborative event. I knew we did a really great smoked brisket and beans, but we wanted something that would be delivered to the guest and still be delicious. A lot of love goes into the brisket. Every ingredient that goes into this is just really phenomenal, but the brisket itself is kind of the star. What we do is we do a traditional mustard rub over the brisket and then a heavy coating of black pepper. We let that sit and then just kind of kind of marry into the meat and create this really nice crust. And then we throw it in the smoker for 18 hours. We keep that around 240 degrees. If you've ever cooked brisket, it's really tricky. It's a labor of love. You'll go from 140 to 160 in an hour, and then it'll hit that stall, and it'll take another 4 hours to get past that next 10 degrees. And so you're constantly, it's a nerve-wracking experience, but once you slice into it and you taste it and it's juicy, it's the most rewarding experience too. And the secret to making that dish a success is really that brisket. Just because of the amount of love that goes into it, you're gonna get that first bite and agree with me. All right, so the beans. The small pink bean that we use for that. They're soaked overnight and then they're slow braised with onions and cumin and garlic. But while I'm smoking that brisket, I got my drip tray underneath it and it's getting all that fat and all that beautiful flavor. And so after that's done cooking, I will strain off some of that fat into the beans, puree it a little bit, so you get that really nice smoky emulsified fat that really finishes that dish and makes it sing. And then the final touch to this dish is gonna be cotija cheese. Cotija cheese kind of looks like a grated Parmesan. If you're not familiar with it, it doesn't taste anything like Parmesan. Some people say it smells like feet, right? But I think the funkier the cheese, the better. So a little tiny bit is gonna be that salty umami bomb that just brings the dish together and just kicks it up a notch. And this dish works perfectly because I can incorporate it, I can sprinkle it really nicely, and then just kind of hit all of the spots so you can get a little bit each bite. So it's a beautiful crumbly cheese that is just gonna add a punch. So the way this dish, although it seems really simple, it's very intentional. So I slice the chips along the side so I can make a little bit of a plate out of the bag. You got the crispy Fritos on the bottom, and then next I top it with the brisket. I do that so the next ingredient is going to be those creamy beans, because that's going to envelope all of that nice heat and then keep the dish really nice and hot for you to eat it. The green onions on the very top are going to get a little bit of sharpness, and that cheese is going to bring it all together. So if I were to sum up this dish in one word, I would call it indulgent. I would say that because it's not just opening up a bag of chips and snacking on it. We've taken it to the next level and added an 18-hour smoked ingredient. We're topping it with the beans. We're using multiple cooking processes. And while it seems really simple when you eat it, it's so complex and so over the top. So when you eat this dish, I want you to be happy. And if you're at home, I want you to order it from City Sons BBQ.